Hello, and welcome to Kobargo's hosted PBX webinar. My name is Amelia Pero, Director of Customer Engagement at Kobargo Technology Partners, and I'll be your host today. Joining me for this webinar is Yuval Gorin, President and CEO of Kobargo.
Thank you, Amelia. This is the first installment of our brand new educational webinars, which we like to call our Naked Technology series. I know what you're thinking, but no, that doesn't mean that we're presenting this webinar in the nude. Rather, we're going to uncover and strip away the mysteries behind your phone bill and hosted PBX.
On today's agenda, we will examine the research findings of our cost savings comparison study. Then Yuval will review the key components of your phone bill and how to determine what you are really paying for. We will also uncover the hidden costs that are not included in your phone bill. And finally, we will explore how to not only save money every month, but also how to get better, no hassle, maintenance-free phone service. We've long been saying that hosted PBX can save businesses up to 50% on their phone costs, and recently we embarked on proving it with a cost comparison study. We examined the phone bills of 19 small businesses who are looking to replace their on-premise PBX systems with a hosted service. Bottom line, this study shows that small businesses on average can save over 50% on their business phone service.
Amelia, 50% is incredible. How did you come up with these numbers?
We compared the features of our hosted PBX solution and the features of on-premise phone systems, as well as the average monthly costs that included the overall fee per line, local and long distance usage fees per line, and carrier fees per line. We also averaged the upfront costs of an on-premise PBX phone system, plus the desk phones themselves.
That must have been a painful task.
Yuval, as you know, just deciphering a phone bill could be a challenge in itself. In fact, most customers didn't know what they were paying for. In summary, can you help explain what we should be looking for in a phone bill?
Amelia, that may be a challenge too. Look, there's no doubt that phone bills are made to be difficult to read and understand. In fact, the less you know, the more you pay, and the telecommunications carriers are counting on it. I know customers that kept paying for phone bills for 10 years after they were disconnected, simply because it was impossible to decode the confusing and incomplete information on their phone bills. Phone bills are rife with confusing jargon and codes, endless taxes and surcharges, and all manner of hidden costs. But let's go ahead and take a run at demystifying a phone bill. Okay, let's look at the key components of your phone bill that we want you to focus on. Line charges, how many and the cost per line. Usage for local and long distance calling and any toll-free numbers you may have. Telephone features. Many times you'll find features you didn't even know you signed up for and are paying for. Federal, state, and local taxes. And lastly, any hidden fees you may not be aware of but nonetheless have a significant impact on your phone service costs. Most importantly, if after this exercise you're still unsure of what you're looking at, call the carrier and have them take you through your phone bills line by line. If you're looking at your phone bill, skip the summary of charges and move down to the details of your phone service. First and foremost, find the line charges on your bill and the number of lines and make sure it adds up to the number of lines you expect. Don't be surprised if you're still paying for lines you canceled previously. Next, should be your usage charges for local and long distance calls. Some carriers will have a flat monthly calling plan fee, while some will have the call details and cost per call included in your 20 some odd page phone bill. Then we have what may be labeled telephone features. Your bill may vary in the headings, but this will list the features you're paying for on your phone. Some features include three-way calling, call forwarding, voicemail, caller ID, paper bill service, call detail printing. The list goes on. Make sure these are features you need and want. Number 5 is a doozy. I'll quickly run through what you may see on your phone bill, including taxes. Access charges. The FCC allows local phone companies to bill customers for a portion of the cost of providing access to their network. The maximum allowable access charges per telephone line are set by the FCC, But local telephone companies are free to charge an access fee, so you may see access fee on your bill. Federal excise tax, which is a 3% tax for local service, state and local taxes that are imposed on goods and services that may also appear as gross receipt taxes on your bill. There's universal service charges that require all telecom providers to contribute to the Federal Universal Service Fund, or USF, to support access to telecommunication services at reasonable rates for those living in rural, high-cost areas, income-eligible consumers, rural healthcare facilities, and schools and libraries. A universal service line item may appear on your bill when your service provider chooses to recover those contributions from you, the customer. There's 911 surcharges imposed by local governments to help pay for emergency services such as fire and rescue. Local number portability, or LNP, are charges for retaining your existing local telephone numbers when you've switched from one service provider to another. These are carrier fees. These are not taxes. Telecommunications relay service is a charge to help pay for relay services that transmit and translate calls for people with hearing or speech disabilities. You may see directory assistance charges for placing 411 directory assistance calls. And in some cases, you'll see a minimum monthly fee. Now, this is a fee that was probably negotiated with a telecom provider when you were signing on initially to get a better rate based on prior usage. If your monthly spend on lines and usage is less than a minimum monthly fee, you will pay the minimum. So for example, if you've reduced some lines and now you're paying $600 between your lines and usage, but your minimum monthly fee is $750, you will pay $750. In addition to your telecommunication service fees, there's also hidden costs, charges you won't see on your phone bill, but they're related to your phone service. With on-premise PBX, you will have annual maintenance contract costs for your PBX hardware. Anytime you need to add, move, or change a phone, you will pay to have a technician come out to rewire and reprogram the phone and extensions. If you need to expand your phone system, you may have to buy an additional line card to add new lines and phones, and you will need a technician to run the cross connects to connect the new lines to the PBX. Downtime, power outages and carrier circuit issues are the primary causes of downtime, and they have a significant impact on your business operations and productivity. You have to be mindful of the cost of loss of productivity in this case. And then there's the cost of switching providers. If you decide to cancel your agreement in order to get better service or better pricing, you will pay for the remaining term on your contract because more than likely you signed a 36-month agreement to get the lowest monthly rate. These hidden costs are significant on top of the already high price you're paying the carriers for phone service. So let's stop the madness, people. With hosted PBX, there are no hidden costs. Since there is no on-premise PBX, there is no maintenance contract. Moving a phone is simple. You literally pick it up and plug it into an internet connection. Creating new extensions or changing existing phones takes minutes with no additional charge, and it's all included in your monthly service. If you need more lines and phones, just add a line to your monthly service and purchase a phone. It's that simple. There are no additional expansion costs or hardware upgrades required. Downtime is not an issue. The service is backed by a 5 nines uptime service level agreement. Basically, that means that hosted PBX guarantees less than 26 seconds of downtime a month for the service. And unlike your traditional telecom carrier, there are no term contracts. Terms are month to month. We deliver excellent service month after month, or you can change at any time with no penalty. Amelia, now that we're a bit more educated on phone bills and the differences between on-premise PBX and hosted PBX hidden costs, let's get back to our study. Can you share with us the results of the study and where the service cost differences come from?
I'd be happy to. The cost differences between hosted PBX and traditional phone services lies in the per-line service and carrier fees customers are charged. As you can see on the graph, the per-line service fees on average for businesses is about $44.64, compared with the average hosted PBX monthly per-line service fee of $29.99. That's almost a 33% savings all by itself. Then there are carrier fees. On average, customers pay monthly carrier fees of $11.23 per line for their on-premise PBX, as compared with low monthly hosted PBX carrier fees of $1.50 per line. Lastly, we have local and long-distance fees. Some carriers covered in the analysis charged no per-line local or long-distance fees, while others either charged per minute usage fees or charged as much as $14.75 for local and $5 for long-distance service per line. It was a mixed bag.
So Amelia, what's the bottom line?
As you can see, the bottom line is that on average, companies saved over 50% by moving to a hosted PBX. And the best time to consider a hosted PBX solution is when you need to replace your old on-premise PBX or have simply had enough of paying fees for features you don't need or won't use. Don't upgrade your PBX to get the latest features. Just move to a hosted PBX solution and get rid of the cost and the hassle of maintaining your own on-premise PBX.
Amelia, a good exercise for participants is to look at their own phone bill and see their per-line charges. Amelia, not only does this show the significant savings potential, but hosted PBX really delivers a better user experience and a simplified approach to phone services.
Yuval, you are right. You pay one price per line that includes unlimited local and long distance, all the phone system functions you need, and also the latest and greatest features as they become available, with no additional fees. The end result is a no-hassle, maintenance-free phone service with no confusing bills or term contracts.
I love it. These savings alone are a great reason to switch from traditional carrier-based services and on-premise PBX. But let's examine the advantages of hosted PBX, the features and functionality it provides, and if it's the right solution for your business. Hosted PBX is a full-featured phone service delivered over an internet connection with predictable monthly fees. Hosted PBX would replace your on-premise phone system and allows you to cancel your phone lines or other carrier voice circuits because it leverages the internet to deliver phone services. Clearly, you need reliable internet and enough bandwidth for good call quality. Hosted PBX has a low entry cost because all you need are phones that are delivered pre-configured. There is no need for a tech visit to install the phones. They are plug and play. Hosted PBX is a cloud-based, fully managed service that provides the administration of the system and support for your company, and it's included in your monthly service fee. Hosted PBX has a predictable pricing model with per-line fees that make it simple to know your incremental costs when adding lines. Hosted PBX has no multi-year commitments, like with typical carrier services. It is month-to-month with no early termination fees should you decide to cancel the service. Hosted PBX requires no on-premise equipment, so there are no additional costs for system maintenance or upgrades. All you need are the phones. You pay a per-line fee that includes unlimited usage, auto attendant, DIDs, and a slew of other great features. Additional features that are included for the low monthly fee of your hosted PBX service are Find Me, Follow Me, where your business line and cell phone can ring simultaneously so you don't miss that important business call. Three-way calling for those ad hoc calls where you need to conference in another resource to an existing call. Voicemail to email for those times when you want to be able to listen to your voicemail without having to dial in to retrieve voicemails which is always an option. You also get web fax, so you can send and receive faxes without having to purchase a fax machine. Believe it or not, many businesses are still using faxes. You get a conference bridge with 200 minutes a month included for those times when you need more than 3 people on a call. And consider another option. Instead of a physical phone, you can get a soft phone that installs on your PC and integrates with Outlook and Salesforce for click-to-dial capabilities. Amelia, those are just some of the phenomenal features you get with our hosted PBX.
So many great features on top of all the cost savings. Wow. So let's recap. You can save 50% on your on-premise PBX hardware and maintenance costs with lower per-line fees, unlimited US local and long-distance calling, and no need for any hardware other than the phones themselves. What's more, we have a special offer to share with all of you today. We'll give you a free phone with every line you switch to our hosted PBX service. So that means you are not paying for phones, there is no software to manage, and no more costly service calls for moves, ads, or to change a phone or extension number. When you sign up, we send you phones that only need to be plugged into your network, and you can start making and receiving calls in minutes. We set everything up for you and then make sure it always works the way it's supposed to. You have to agree, this is a perfect small business solution that is hard to beat. So for everyone who wants to take advantage of our special offer or wants to learn more about the advantages of hosted PBX for their company, contact us. We've got contact details here on the screen, or call us. Email, call us. We'd love to hear from you. We have a few minutes left for any questions, so please submit your questions using the chat feature, or if you want, you can send them to the email address we have on the screen. So let's see, looks like we have a question from Jennifer. Jennifer wants to know, what is the difference between hosted PBX and hosted VoIP?
Amelia, hosted PBX and hosted VoIP are really one and the same. They both deliver phone services over the internet, or in some cases, over a dedicated connection to a carrier or service provider.
I have another question. It's from Haresh, and he wants to know, what if he loses internet connectivity? What happens to his phone system?
Great question, Haresh. Of course, you always want to use a reliable internet provider, but even the best providers can experience an outage. With the Find Me, Follow Me feature, you will still get calls to your cell phone even if the internet in your office is down. And the beauty of it is that your customers will never know.
We have another question here. I saw $29.99 listed in your study. Is that the price for the hosted PBX lines?
Our per-line pricing scales based on the number of lines required. The price range is $29.99 to $39.99 based on the number of lines. The more lines, the lower the per-line cost.
Well, it looks like we've run out of time. For any questions we did not get to, please email us, help@kobargo.com, and we'll respond to all of them. I want to thank Yuval and all the attendees for joining us today. Once again, for everyone who wants to take advantage of our special free phone offer, make a note of the link on the screen or contact us via email or phone. Please look for our next webinar in our Naked Technology educational series on www.kobargo.com. This is Amelia Perro saying goodbye, and have a great rest of your day.